Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta. And Kriti, we have to start with the airline stocks with the government shutdown now affecting flights. And we just have official word from the aviation analytics company Cirium saying 748 flights out of more than 25,000 booked have been canceled. That represents 3% of the overall total. So we'll be tracking that throughout the day. What are we seeing in terms of how that's affecting the stock picture for these carriers, Kriti?
Nathan, 20 days away from Thanksgiving, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. And that's what's being reflected when you look at some of these airline stocks. American Airlines right off the bat. AAL is your ticker, down 0.8% this morning, trading at about $13 a share. You go to, there's really only 5 major carriers in the States. Let's go to United. I'm just going to go through the laundry list of them. Yeah. UAL is your ticker, under pressure, down about 0.2%, $95 a share. Keep an eye on that one. It's been selling off quite a bit and certainly was in yesterday's session as well. Let's talk about Delta as well. DAL is your ticker. That one, of course, also getting, it's pairing its gains, its losses now, but it was down by almost 0.3% earlier, now virtually unchanged. So keep an eye on the airlines broadly. American seems to be taking the brunt of it at the moment, but something tells me at 9:30 New York time, you're going to start to see a little bit more action in that space. Nevertheless, Nathan, we've got plenty of action in other spots of this market. Let's start with the positivity. I feel like I need to be a little bit of a do-gooder if I can.
Yeah,
so let's start with Airbnb here. ABNB is your ticker. Those shares are higher by, get this, 4%. They're actually off their highs of the pre-market session, so still up 4%. Not too shabby for the company, trading just shy of $126 a share. It looks like getting some very loud praise from Wall Street. They're seeing strong demand. They're seeing U.S. travel is fueling a pretty decent book on beatings. They're all, beat on bookings. My day is
it's been
already
a long week.
It's been a long week. Airbnb is thriving, though, at the end of this week, is what I'm trying to say. They gave a better than expected outlook for the holiday quarter. Analysts also talking about the reserve now, pay later aspect of their business, which they've also now included. They're saying that is also helping with some of their bookings. So Airbnb, ABNB, is your ticker, up by about 4% this morning. It's not the only one that's higher. Monster Energy, not a stock we talk about a lot, Nathan, but it's certainly getting an energy boost this morning. MNST is your ticker, trading just shy of $69 a share, higher by 3.6%. This one's interesting because it looks like they're saying, and Monster Beverage does a lot of things. They don't just have the Monster Energy drink, but they're saying those energy drinks are ultimately what's fueling their bottom line. And Wall Street is applauding it. They are seeing some pretty decent price upgrades on this. Piper Sandler, for example, giving their stamp of approval, maintaining their overweight, but raising their price tracker to $75 a share. A similar story over at Morgan Stanley, raising it to $81 a share from $74. Across the board, you are seeing Monster Beverage actually rally quite a bit. The shares are trading currently at about $68.70. So, like I said, stamp of approval from Morgan Stanley and Piper Sandler off the back of their earnings picture. But it's that inevitable time of the morning, Nathan. I got to give you a Debbie Downer one. A stock that's besides really taking a hit, besides the airlines, is going to be Pfizer. PFE is your ticker there, down about 1.8% and dropping as we speak. This comes out from Novo Nordisk after the bell yesterday re-upped their bid for Metsera. It's unclear what the price is at the moment, but you are starting to see Pfizer and Novo in this massive bidding war for the obesity drugs company. So we will see if it gets there. Pfizer at the moment, though, shares not loving, or the investors not loving those shares, down about 1.7%.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.